Welcome to my virtual poetry reading. I'm Susan Alexander. I want to acknowledge the land where I stand is the traditional territory of the Squamish people. Bowen Island has a new sign with its original Squamish name, Nuch Lelechem. I've never done a reading like this, so please bear with me, but I do have right before me my first reader, Howe Sound, also known as Adalkatsum in Squamish. When I'm working on a poem, I often read it out loud to the sea. So maybe this isn't so different after all. Some of the poems I'll be reading today are from Vigil, which is the sequence of poems that won the Mitchell Prize last fall. All of these poems are in a new book coming out in September. My first poem is called Theophany, and Theophany is a visible manifestation of God to humankind. Theophany. If God were a tree, this page would be a sacred thing, oblation in cellulose. Words would rustle, stir heartwood, cause water to rise, root to crown. We'd toss seeds at weddings. Every tap and stream where we drink would be holy. If God were a tree, we'd study botany to grow closer to divinity. Our third eye would be a leaf. This next poem is called Eschatology, and eschatology is a stream of systematic theology which deals with last things. Eschatology. In the new forest, it is the young who die, and the dying wear their hair long. Braids trail down from dwindling limbs. Moss wraps skirts around slim trunks. The dead remain standing, held in the arms of mothers, sisters, grandfathers. Lungwort scales the tree bark, holds a chartreuse light. This life from loss, this living plated with the dead. Lichens climb, earth to sky, clasp the bowls with 1,000 hands. Touch me, says death. I am soft and green as spring. This next poem is called Anthropocene, and that's becoming a much more common term these days. It's the current geological age during which human activity is the dominant influence on the climate and the environment. Anthropocene. I miss the old gods before they slipped into the bunker. Brace of doves sifting through ashes before Google. It's all DIY these days of data mining. No kneeling fern deep beside the stream. No sprinkled water before the drink. I don't remove my shoes. The ocean, too warm this summer. I swam every day under wildfire smoke. Thousands of jellyfish, full moons, drifted below. Satellites caliper California's orange groves. In a TEDx talk on YouTube, my friend, the scientist, speaks about irreversible compaction of aquifers. Unseen structures collapse, pumped dry. Beneath us, the gods shift on molten thrones. What to do about ghosts if the Styx runs low? I am ever so mildly environmental. Sign letters, petitions, mites sent to the cause. Others fund apocalypse. Temple stone cut and stacked in the warehouse. Listen, the flawless red heifers in feedlots lament. Outside, the rail cars wait. Check out old Cronus. He limps from the labyrinth on the arms of his chums. Our Father, crisp in pleats, white leather gloves. A sweet boy tumbles towards us, on juicy pink legs. Kiss him with alchemical lips. Swallow him whole. This next poem is a love poem to ferns, particularly the fiddleheads. Sword ferns in spring. If you stop, waist high, hemmed in on every side, and the wind stops, and the winter wrens quit their frantic love trills, you may hear a sound galactic. How fractals unfurl in Fibonacci spirals, how each frond learns those intervals, sings variations on the theme. Treble and bass clefs tip fresh growth, trembling along the staffs of winter veterans. Golden cochlei listen for harmonies. Tomorrow they will play the tune. All winter they have endured for this. The dead and the seasoned circle new geometry. Every year you must come, join the chorale, faithful and primordial, even you with your fretful grace note. This next poem is called Clemavi, and it comes from Psalm 130, De profundis Clemavi, out of the depths I have cried. And the subject of the poem is serious, and the tone is a little cheeky. Clemavi. God, I am praying to you the morning after 19 of the hottest years on record in the history of your created earth, where I am walking through the valley of the shadows. God, I am praying to you to take your people back, because we, like sheep, have gone astray. Take us back to 1839. Make us listen to Edmund Becquerel when he built the first solar fuel cell. Take us back to 1888, those first wind turbines, which for decades would power remote ranches and farms. Take us back to 1892, when Boise, Idaho used hot springs to heat its homes, built the huge geothermal swimming pool on Warm Springs Avenue. And since I am already on my knees praying, could you also, while you're tinkering with dates, delay a century or two that January explosion in 1901, when Spindletop shot black gold into the blue Texas sky, and the new century found its idol and its engine. I know that time means nothing to you up there in eternity, but down here, where our days are like the withering grass, we are running out of it. I lift up to you not only our petroleum sins, but also byproduct spin-offs and our plastic iniquities of polyester, spandex, hearing aids, heart valves, fishing rods, milk jugs, cortisone, crayons, hot tubs, fertilizer, shampoo, paraffin, bike tires, car tires, insecticide, aspirin, ballpoint pens, cling wrap, wax paper, shaving cream, eyeglasses, contact lenses, tennis rackets, ink, artificial turf, artificial limbs, Vaseline and Maybelline, shoe polish, paint, vitamin capsules, water pipes, toothpaste, pillows, detergent, life jackets, lipstick, combs, yoga mats, garden hoses, and golf balls. Save us, O Lord, from our sins of omission and consumption and commission. Take us back, O God, and save your sheep, if this time we promise to give thanks for free wind and free water and free sunshine that blows and shines and rains on the rich and the poor, the just and the unjust. Lead us not into temptation, but make us to calm down, to lie down at last in your green pastures. And this is the last one. It's called Last Morning. Listen, it is still not too late. The invisible bird is a song you can almost see, a shape that hovers over the meadow, absence above the swinging blackberry cane. Even now, as close as the world, it sings to you. So I just wanted to thank the Hearth on Bowen Island for the opportunity to be part of the Arts Council's gallery show, and just mention that my new book is called Nothing You Can Carry. All the poems I've read today are in there, and it is published by Thistledown Press. It's coming out in September. Thank you.